Hey guys, welcome back to Mondays at the Museum. I'm Carrie and I'm here at the Anna V. Miss Palmer Museum in York, Nebraska. So in honor of Veterans Day today, I'm going to show you a few of the military items that are currently on display included in our History of York County exhibit. So starting off in Arborville. This collection of items is linked to Lemuel Rex Wilcox. He was born in 1893. He went on to serve in World War I. He went to Camp Funston in 1917, sailed for France in 1918, and unfortunately, in a battle on October 18th, a bomb exploded on top of his helmet and it broke both of his arms. He ended actually laying there on the battlefield for several hours until he was picked up at 4 p.m. and he died on his way back to the hospital area there in the ambulance. As you can see, we have several photos and certificates and his dog tags as well. Really sad story there. Interestingly enough, also in Arborville, they have a really neat cemetery and several military graves, and one of those featured in this entirely unrelated newspaper article is a picture of Lemuel gravestone there in the corner. Moving on to Benedict. So this is a photo of Edward Blender. He was a member of the GAR, which means he fought in the Union Army during the Civil War. So he was in the 57th Infantry out of Illinois, Company G. He mustered in as a private and mustered out as a corporal. And after he had settled in Benedict, he gave part of his land to build the Pleasant Hill Cemetery, where he and his wife are now buried. Here in the Bradshaw area, you'll see a powder pouch from the Civil War, as well as the GAR charter from Bradshaw. Looking closely, they were the Noble Graves Post, number 97, and this is actually dated 1882. Here's a picture of the Civil War Memorial, aka the GAR Memorial there, that's at Lushton Cemetery. It's sort of toward the center of the cemetery, and actually reading up about it, Lushton is really, really lovely because they have an area of their cemetery dedicated to just military personnel. They don't have anywhere else to be buried. They say that as long as you were in the service, they don't care about your gender or affiliations or anything like that. As long as you are a member of the service, that you are welcome to be buried there. We're now in the York area. This is the World War II Army uniform belonging to Glenn Fenning, and he was in the 134th Division, the 134th Volunteer Infantry of the 35th Division, which you can see from this patch right here. So Glenn served in World War II. He passed away in 1973, and he's buried in Greenwood Cemetery here in York. So this sword actually belonged to a captain in the Confederate Army. His name is J.B. Reed. He's actually the father-in-law of Mrs. Wade Reed, who was the one that donated the sword. And for those of you that don't know already, we have the sword on display because he is the one that actually gave the money to build our first courthouse, which we have a picture of right here. Here is a photo of Henry C. Lanphier of Gresham. So he was born in 1842. He died in 1916. He was a Civil War veteran. He was part of Company I of the 122nd Illinois Volunteer Infantry. And he is actually a pioneer of Gresham from around 1872. Still in Gresham, we have a collection of items relating to Clarkson Doane, who you can see a picture of right here. So another sad story there. Clarkson, born near Gresham, he served in World War I in France again. He sent this helmet back to his family. He picked it up on the battlefield, as well as this Christmas letter here, dated 1918. So unfortunately, he contracted tuberculosis in France, and he died there in 1929 at the age of 34. However, he's buried in the Cedar Lawn Cemetery near Gresham. So you have the helmet that was picked up on the battlefield and several photos. There's his unit. Here's one of his casket, and then a certificate of this military service that's signed by Samuel McKelvey and dated 1921. This Army uniform belonged to Gerald Burgess. He enlisted July 21st, 1944, and was discharged January 27th, 1946. He passed away in 2006 and is buried in Moore Memorial Garden Cemetery in Arlington, Texas. Another military uniform here. This one is from the Army from World War II, belonged to Hub Foster. Hub served in Louisiana as well as on the East Coast and other locations stateside. Upon return from service, he became the owner of Foster Dry Cleaners. Later, he worked at York News Times, and he also started the York Seniors Fun Club, and he was the announcer for several York local sports teams. Hub passed away in 2013, and he's buried in Greenwood Cemetery in York. So this uniform also comes with the money belt. Here in our Waco case, you will see a gas mask from World War I. It was used in France in 1918. And then also a collection of medals there. So the Victory Medal, the American Campaign Medal, American Defense Medal, and the Good Conduct Medal, all earned by Edward Stevens, who lived from 1919 to 1997. He's buried in the Waco Cemetery. And we also have the Waco GAR Charter, which you can see a lot of names and dates and things. They were the Dick Yates Post number 41, which you can see right here. And then this one is dated, it says, on the 29th day of January in the year of our Lord 1892. So those are just a few of the military-related items that are a part of this exhibit. It runs until the end of February, so if you want to take a closer look, come and see us. We hope to see you soon.